What started as a routine flight quickly turned into a tense and emotional standoff.
I know it. I live in America, and that's what fucking America's about.
Calm down.
No, you know
Listen to me.
that.
When a passenger was told they would not be flying that day, simply for speaking their mind. What they saw as an exercise of free speech, the system viewed as a disturbance. In this video, we witness a person standing firm for their rights, questioning authority, and pleading for fairness.
Calm down.
No, you know
Listen
that.
to me. Grab your bag.
You know that. You know that.
Give me another unit on the plane, please.
If you are ever gonna put your hands on
Grab
me,
your bag.
no, I will grab my bag. But you don't want to sit here and sound upset.
Only to be met with cold procedures and firm protocol. Every word they speak, every question they ask brings us back to a powerful dilemma. Can simply voicing your opinion justify being removed from a flight? Let's walk through this incident moment by moment and see how one person's stand for freedom spiraled into a forced removal and eventual arrest. Before we dive into this intense situation, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a story that makes you think twice about your rights and freedom. Leave a comment below telling us, what would you do if you were in this person's shoes? Now, let's jump into this gripping story. The speaker identifies themselves as a representative of the aircraft, informing the individual that they will not be flying today.
Hello.
We're gonna take you off the aircraft.
You're too.
Yep, you're gonna have to get off the aircraft,
Yeah,
okay?
and you're at the.
Despite being asked to wait, the person seems frustrated and insists they have done nothing wrong. They explain that they only spoke their mind and emphasize that freedom of speech is an American right. Standing their ground, they assert their belief that they shouldn't be removed for simply expressing themselves. The representative tells the individual they need to grab their bag and leave the aircraft. The individual resists, questioning why their actions would warrant being removed. They insist on being heard and continue to express their frustrations about the situation. The representative, trying to maintain control, warns of potential consequences if they don't comply, such as arrest. Despite the tension, the representative attempts to keep the situation calm while encouraging the individual to cooperate. The situation escalates as the individual continues to question why they are being singled out, asking the representative why they have the right to put their hands on them. They express disbelief and frustration, feeling unfairly targeted and demanding an explanation for the treatment they're receiving. They are met with further instructions to stand up, along with a clear warning that they will be arrested if they don't comply. The tension rises as both parties remain firm in their positions. The representative remains authoritative while the individual continues to resist, creating a standoff that intensifies the already charged atmosphere. The individual continues to argue, demanding clarity on why the representative believes they have the authority to take such actions. They express disbelief and frustration, insisting they haven't physically harmed anyone and questioning how speaking their mind could lead to such consequences. Despite their protests, the representative remains firm, stating that they are simply doing their job. The tension between them grows heavier, and the situation appears to be heading toward an inevitable arrest, as neither side seems willing to back down. As the individual tries to reason with the representative, they are met with a clear statement. They will be removed from the aircraft and taken into custody. The individual, growing more upset, insists that the situation is unjust and that they are being unfairly targeted for simply speaking their mind. They express feelings of manipulation and mistreatment, but the representative stands firm, repeating that the decision has been made. Despite the individual's continued protests, it becomes evident that they will not be allowed to remain on the flight. The person being removed from the aircraft continues to resist, emphasizing their right to freedom and fairness. They attempt to explain their side of the story, hoping to be heard and understood. However, their efforts are met with firm resistance as the representative remains focused on carrying out the removal. Despite the growing emotional intensity, the representative sticks to the established protocol. The tension continues to build between them, one determined to defend their perceived rights, and the other committed to enforcing the airline's rules and maintaining order on board. Despite the continued resistance and frustration, the individual is ultimately escorted off the aircraft. Their voice grows louder as they repeatedly express disbelief at how they are being treated, demanding answers and clarity from those involved. They appear overwhelmed and emotional, struggling to understand why their words have led to such serious consequences. The atmosphere remains tense throughout the removal process. The individual continues to argue that they are being unfairly targeted simply for expressing their thoughts. Meanwhile, the representative and other others involved stay focused on completing the task, aiming to de-escalate the situation while upholding the procedures in place. After being removed from the aircraft, the individual continues to express their frustration and confusion. They shift their focus to the representative's behavior, questioning their decisions and the lack of clear communication. The individual tries to engage with the officers calmly, hoping to explain their side of the story and gain some understanding in return. Despite their efforts to reason and make their feelings known, the officers remain firm in their approach. The situation continues to unfold with little sign of reversal. The individual's emotional state is evident as they feel overwhelmed and mistreated, but the process moves steadily toward an arrest. Following the protocol the officers are trained to uphold, the situation continues to escalate as the individual is further detained. They continue to voice their concerns, asking why they are being treated in such a manner. The tension remains high, with the individual feeling increasingly violated, while the officers maintain their stance. The individual tries to reason with the officers, questioning the actions and intentions behind their treatment. They express disbelief that they are being put in such a position, feeling that they have done nothing wrong. As the arrest process continues, the individual's frustration grows, but they are still taken into custody. The person being detained continues to voice their frustration and disbelief at the entire situation. They express the emotional toll that the encounter has taken on them, feeling that they have been unfairly treated. Despite their protests, the officers continue with the arrest procedure, leaving the individual feeling powerless. As the individual is further processed, they reflect on the events, questioning why they are being treated in such a manner. They express disbelief that the situation has escalated to this point, but despite their feelings, the arrest continues. The emotional toll of the experience is clear in their voice. The person continues to resist the arrest, asking for their rights to be respected and expressing their disbelief at the situation. They try to reason with the officers, but their protests are met with further action. The individual is left feeling disempowered as their rights and dignity are seemingly disregarded in the course of the incident. The situation continues to unfold as the individual is confronted with the reality of their arrest. They continue to speak out against the treatment they are receiving, asserting their right to be treated fairly. The emotional intensity of the situation grows, with the individual feeling overwhelmed by the injustice they perceive. The individual is physically restrained and moved away, still in a state of disbelief. They continue to express their frustrations, feeling that the situation is not only unfair, but also unnecessary. Their voice conveys a deep sense of betrayal and anger, but the officers continue with the process, leaving the individual feeling more and more isolated. The arrest continues, with the individual voicing their frustrations about the treatment they are receiving. They question the motivations behind the actions of the officers, trying to understand why the situation has escalated so dramatically. The individual remains resolute in their belief that they are being mistreated, but the process continues as the officers remain firm. The final part of the incident is marked by the individual expressing their disbelief at the situation, feeling powerless to stop the arrest. They continue to voice their frustrations, but ultimately, they are escorted away. The emotional weight of the encounter is clear, with the individual feeling as though they have been wronged at every step. As the situation unfolded, it became clear that what seemed like a simple misunderstanding quickly spiraled into a major confrontation, leaving us questioning the balance between personal rights and authority. The emotional toll and sense of injustice were evident, making us wonder, how would we react if we found ourselves in a similar position? If this story got you thinking, don't let it end here. Subscribe to our channel for more powerful stories that challenge the status quo, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Share your thoughts in the comments. What do you think was the turning point in this incident? Let's keep the conversation going and make sure everyone's voice is heard.